Today guys, we got a bit going on today. A lot of things that I need to catch you guys up on, and it's going to be pretty exciting. I've been waiting for this moment for quite a few months now, and I can't wait to show you guys. Let's head to the shed so I can show you what's going on today. A lot of you guys may not even know what these cars are and what the relevance of these cars are. But I've been waiting for some time whilst they've been sitting in storage. I ended up getting the S3, and if I didn't have these cars, I wouldn't be working on the S3 today. I thought I'd reintroduce these cars to you guys. And this one right here is my 2-liter Mark IV Golf. This was my first ever car. This is what it looked like before, and this is what it is right now. Yes, I've made it look a whole lot worse than what it initially looked like, but I made the initial decision to start parting it out because I really wanted to restore this Mark IV GTI. A few years ago on the channel, I made a video on these cars and where they stood at that point. Now, at that time, I didn't really know how bad this GTI actually was, and you can tell it's been sitting for some time. But this car, prior to me owning, sat for about 7 years. Rats went through it, destroyed everything, ate through stuff. The motor, I did do a compression test, but it was actually pretty healthy. And as you can tell now, I had spent a lot of time refreshing this whole entire engine bay, making it look how it does now. There's a lot of work that went into this, retiming it, redoing all the seals. I pulled the engine out and redid everything. I did the remain, we did a single mass flywheel, whole clutch and everything. There's not a single thing in this engine bay that I did not touch. We ended up refreshing all the suspension, all the control arms, the bushings, the rear, everything. Nothing was actually left out on this car. I'm really upset I didn't video all of it, but there is quite a lot that I did video. I just ended up getting too carried away a long time ago and didn't end up posting those videos. So I'm sorry for that, but from now on, there will be everything that I do to this car. There will be content, there will be videos, and as you may have noticed, whilst I've been working on the S3, the shelves over here have been filling up with parts, and you can bet that those parts are going to be for this GTI. The idea for this GTI is not necessarily big power. I just want to be able to restore it because it was in a horrible state when I got it. It was really bad. It was probably one of the worst examples I've ever seen in person, but there was pretty much nothing really left. There was no door cards, no interior, no seats, the Recaras, everything was taken out. The engine bay was pretty much pulled apart and the mice ate through it. Now, a lot of you guys would be, why did you end up doing that? To be honest, I don't even know, but the project was definitely worth it. This car has come already, even though it doesn't look complete at all, it has come a very long way since the first time I owned it. We did actually end up doing the interior as well. That dash is also from the 2-liter. The steering wheel got done. We did a Cool-X short shifter. Now I still need to adjust that and do some work. We need to completely do the rest of the back interior, the pillars and whatnot. But we are going to be doing a full black interior swap on this thing as well. And we have a body kit ready to go. We're going to be also sanding this car down and respraying it. I want to make this thing a show car. The only reason why, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking, did you do a mechanic course? Did you do that? No, I actually don't even work in a motor trade. I used to work in spray painting, but I only did that for maybe half a year. Other than that, there's nothing else really. Like, I learnt everything I know from this car. There isn't a single thing that I didn't touch on this car. If I didn't do all the work to this car that I did, I wouldn't even be confident enough to work on the S3. So this car has taught me a lot. There is some stuff that I maybe didn't do amazingly that I could have done, but it has taught me everything I know now to be working on cars. And I mean, this was the first engine I ever did timing on. I pulled the cams out, did all the chain timing as well. There is nothing that this car hasn't taught me, and I'm so thankful I took it upon myself to complete this car and have it where it is right now. And I think I owe it to be finished. But for today, we're going to be pulling everything off this 2-litre that I will be using on the GTI. The rear tailgate, which has the wing on it, I want to take that. We're going to be sorting through everything that's been stuffed into the interior and keeping everything that I want. We will also be pulling the motor out of this thing. So I just have a spare motor laying around. I might refresh and put it into maybe something like this. I actually haven't even gone over this car, but this is my girlfriend's Mark III 2-door. That is her project. It is not mine. So you got to wait for some content on that thing. It will come very, very soon. And I can't wait to have my GTI up against her Mark III looking really good together. But we're going to be pulling the motor out of this thing. I'll be able to have the gearbox as a spare for the GTI as well. But this car isn't really made to go fast. I'll probably be keeping it relatively stock and making it look as clean as possible. It is just mainly going to be a show car, and the S3 is built to be a go fast car. Let's get onto this and waste no more time. Let's start pulling this thing apart, taking everything out of the interior, because there's a lot we got to sort through that's on the interior. There's probably a lot of parts that came off the GTI and other cars. So let's go through that and then start pulling everything off, because I really need to get this car out so I can put the S3 back in here. As you can tell, majority of the parts are already missing. There is a lot over here that I've sorted through already, but there's still tons of stuff I need to pull off this car. So let's keep going. Cluster. New coolant expansion tank for the S3 maybe? I don't know if this one was one that might be leaking, but might use that for the S3. Rear trims, debadged grill. I remember when I had this on my 2-litre, that's funny. Rear boot trim, door card, engine cover. If you want a 2-litre engine cover, come get it. Just hit me up on Instagram. This is a pretty clean privacy cover. Oh, another one. And another one. That's probably the one I'll put on the GTI. It's interesting. Well, I don't even know how I have 3 if I only have 2. Probably, I think I might have gotten one of these off a wrecking, to be honest. This is the original front guard. This one's dented in just right along here and there. I ended up swapping this out for the one that's currently on the car. Another factory airbox. This one would be off the GTI. You can tell because it has the ICM cut out on it. The other one that I pulled out earlier was for the 2-litre. Another boot trim. Alright, so we got a side sort of trim. This goes down along here to protect the harness. An airbag. Pretty much everything that came off and out of the GTI, this was sort of treated as like a spare parts sort of carrier until I had everything. But sad to see this thing come how it is, but this thing lived a good life. I treated it as much as I possibly could and looked after it. And this thing has 350,000 kilometers on it, so it's done its duties. I mean, I love this thing. There wasn't a single thing about this car that I hated. It doesn't really make sense to have 2 Golfs. If I can just have one that's really nice, that would be preferable. To restore the GTI, I wanted to use this thing because it was a really good condition thing, and I spent a lot of time collecting a lot of parts to make it complete again. Yeah, it'll relive its new life in the GTI, and I think it is well worth it. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Still a little bit to go. Old accessory belt. Another rear boot trim. Original grill off of my Golf. This one is in pretty good condition, nothing broken off of it. I think I have a few others, but I need to be careful with this because they do break quite often. Another rear boot trim. I'm glad I have a good selection to choose from because it's only going to go into one car and I can choose the best parts for that car. Obviously this is my first car that I worked on. It's a 2-litre. It's a Mark IV chassis, the exact same as the GTI that's over there, but with a 2-litre in it. It doesn't have the fancier interior, but the GTIs that we got in Australia were only AGUs, for people that know what those are. It's a narrowband 1.8T. Nothing you can really do too much to make big power out of them unless you do like an aftermarket ECU. And then I learned everything that I know off this car, and then once I got the confidence off this car, I bought the GTI, started pulling that apart, and then obviously, you know, natural progression, I now have the S3. Cool parts in there. Another vanity mirror. Alrighty, so we pretty much pulled everything I possibly can out of that interior. This is everything that was really in there. There is a little bit of other crap still in here, but nothing that I'm really going to be using. I might keep that actually, but that's really it. I'll probably sort through all this at a later date once I've pulled the motor out of this thing. We need to get this thing out and going, so I'm going to start pulling all these rear trims out right now, because those are the ones I'll be using for the GTI. This is all pretty clean and nice, so I'll pull this out now, and then yeah, we can get into the engine bay. I might start trying to take this tailgate off, to be honest. I also did do a wiper delete on this thing. Somebody else, I don't know who, at some point thought it was funny to scratch it up, so I do have a new one to go in there eventually, but I'll probably do that after I respray the car and do everything. So we gotta pretty much take all these trims apart, take all the harness and pull it through, unbolt it from here and pull it off. I know that this is going to be an absolute of a job to get that fish back through, but I guess we'll figure that out when it actually comes time to do that. Now, I actually did bolt this wing on. A lot of people just sort of stick them down. I didn't feel comfortable just having it sort of stuck down, so I actually drilled through this. Now I'll probably end up cleaning those up a lot more because they're not really even. And if I ever do this again, this was actually the first mod I ever did to this car, so it's not great, but it's the best I could do at the time. So I think if I'm going to do this again, like on that rear boot, I'll probably do it a lot cleaner than this one. But from the outside, it doesn't look too bad. You're being silly.
No, I'm not. I'm genuinely, like, I genuinely don't know where you want me to hold it.
Okay, so now the boot is all taken out. The next thing we'll probably do in the next video is pull this engine out, and then we can go ahead and get the chassis out of the way and bring the S3 back in. Thank you guys so much for sticking around for yet again another video. If you enjoyed the video, like it and subscribe to see more like it. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.